Okay, we're on episode 3.
Teamwork.
Yep, and this is the Captain Planet Power Rangers episode. When these 5 heroes unite, their powers activate Captain Planet!
Basically it opens up with Kimberly and Trini trying to sign petitions to close the dump site in fear of pollution. I guess,
Which actually plays no role whatsoever, doesn't even really get resolved, and we don't even see the people that work there. We just kind of see random stock footage of a dump site.
But,
90s.
Yeah. Thing is, in Power Rangers, they started throwing in a lot of charity and, stuff like that, a lot of social work, volunteer work, because... Well, basically, to make the show seem like it isn't a bad influence. A lot of complaints from parents.
No, that
about
does
violence.
eventually result into the whole thing of, are the only people in Angel Grove who do any form of charitable work, the teenagers? The teenagers must run everything. Which also explains why, there are just random bits of city that are constantly allowed to be crushed by, giant monster attacks, so...
I'm gonna say it now. Out of the 3 so far, this one's probably the least favorite.
Yeah, this one's pretty goofy.
The story is basically, Rita's plot this time is to use pollution against them and destroying them, which is a solid idea.
But they don't really do anything with it. There's nothing specifically pollution. Essentially what she means by it is, we're gonna take their petition and we're gonna destroy their petition. And that's about it.
Now, the Minotaur doesn't really have anything to do with pollution either.
That's the thing, is that if they wanted to do, like, a pollution-oriented episode, what they
the
should...
monster's the Minotaur on this episode, we forgot to say that.
Right, if they wanted to do a pollution episode, what they need to do is they need to, like, maybe have the Ooze be the villain. Like,
Ivan Ooze.
Ha ha ha.
No, we're not doing that now. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well... It just seems like they could have worked it a little bit better. With a later episode, if I remember, a lot of the later episodes, Rita will take certain things within that the Power Rangers actually react to, or that they have to deal with, and they'll turn those into monsters, If they did something like that.
Lord Zed is the one who turns things into monsters, not Rita.
Right, sorry.
That's a different thing.
But, kind of that idea, that could really work out fairly well.
Well, it's a thing, they got the stock footage, you gotta find a story that goes with it. That's the challenge they faced at this point.
And with this one, you can most certainly tell that stock footage was not their friend in this episode.
Yep, big points of this episode. Step 1, first time we got to see the American Ranger costumes.
These are so bad. I was just looking at them like, you can obviously tell these are not original. I'm like, there's just something up with these. Their helmets are too shiny.
The thing is, the helmets, normally in the Japanese costumes, both the helmets and costume were shiny, so it matched. But I explained this in another video. The stunt people in the Japanese show, they were all the same size, so they could have double layer spandex without a problem, which was shiny. With ours, it wasn't the case. Stunt men were all sizes, so they had a one-size-fit-all bodysuit, which wasn't as, it had more wrinkles and it didn't shine. And also they had the neck things. They had that weird collar thing instead of a hood under the helmet. Also the clamps were on the outside of the helmets. There you go. That's my rundown. Although the clamps on the outside is a good thing. I have a helmet, and if the clamps are on the inside, you can get stuck in it. Anyway.
What we did get to see the power weapons. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but before getting to that, there's one more thing about the Megazord thing. Again, they didn't have this Megazord in stock footage. They had the Zords fighting individually, which was another point. The way they fought individually, it seems like the Megazord loses a lot of its powers.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at the individual Zords fighting. I was just kind of going, these things are much more powerful divided than they are really together.
Power in numbers.
Yeah, it's the power in numbers.
They've got guns and freeze rays and hooks on them.
Yeah, I mean
they got the size on them, sure, but...
And when it transforms into, the giant big, sword fighting robot...
It's all close range.
Yeah. It's all melee suddenly.
Actually, no. It does have that weird thing where it shoots a laser with its hooks, but they never use that. They use it like one time.
Yeah. And they only used it because they introduced it in the episode, and then they just kind of stopped with it. And they still got more phenomena.
Oh, yeah.
They're still trying to get more phenomena.
Really? I didn't really hear it.
I thought I heard it at least once.
It's dying down really instantly, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Also, the Megazord, they didn't have the footage, but they did show the same stock footage of them transforming and did the thing they're going to do a lot in early Season 2. They show it attacking, then cut to the monster being hit. Never on screen together. You could tell the impact the monster took was significantly smaller than it should have been from the combined tank blast.
Yeah.
But the weapons, though, seeing the weapons was the big point of this episode, and I really hate how they did it. You tell them.
Well, the thing about it essentially is that there's actually a smaller weapon, and then it upgrades itself to a larger looking weapon.
No, not that. I mean, how they got them. That part.
Oh, that part. Well, what I said is actually true. They had smaller weapons, and then they upgrade them to a larger weapon. But the thing he's talking about is they leave the middle of a Zord fight to get their weapons.
Which, by the way, is out of order, I'm pretty sure, in the stock footage. And why did the monster shrink again?
Yeah.
And did they just leave it to destroy the city? Whatever, go ahead.
Essentially, that was the big issue, wasn't it? It was just that, they left in the middle of a Zord fight. That does not happen.
In Sentai, they cannot teleport, so if they're in a bad situation, they're stuck there and gotta think on their feet. But, yeah, not about Sentai on its own, it just doesn't work.
So, overall?
We're not done yet, you didn't finish the story.
We're not?
You didn't actually say how they got the weapons. Okay, look, he didn't think of it, but how they got the weapons, Zordon gave it to him, and why didn't he give it to him sooner? That's the thing.
Well, that's going to be a consistent problem throughout Power Rangers. In all episodes of Power Rangers, even all seasons, you kind of go with this whole, these are the sole saviors of the Earth. Why are you only giving them little bits of power at a time? Why are you not giving them the big, gigantic death machine that can kill any villain ever with no damage to the city? Why are you not giving them the huge, big weapons right at the start?
This sword, I'm gonna do a little jump cut here. Power sword! Thing is, this form right here, in Sentai, that's how it looked when they were morphed, but unmorphed it looked like a regular sword. And that's relevant because they still showed the footage of it changing into this form in Power Rangers, even though we've never seen it in the other form. So it's like, what the heck just happened, really?
They had other weapons. That was the thing, is that they had other weapons. That's bad stock footage being used.
It made it look like they did, and they just decided not to use them.
Oh, and this was the first time you could really notice. Like, we were looking for it, and this is the first time we were able to notice the missing finger. With a...
Don't talk about that, it's not polite.
Just something I kind of noticed.
Yeah, the Black Ranger, they try not to focus, but he has 9 fingers on one hand. But they hide that pretty well,
Yeah, they hide it pretty well.
That's not a big deal. No.
It was just something kind of interesting I noticed.
Yeah, I had to point it out, though. He probably wouldn't have if I didn't. So, episode ends with... Oh yeah, the moral of this episode was teamwork, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
But there was
a moral somewhere in here.
The idea was they have to triumph through teamwork, and they said that a couple times, but there was never a situation where this is what happens when they don't use it, and that's the basic formula.
So, overall...
2 out of 5. I'll give it 1 point just because we got to see the weapons. That was cool.
I'll agree again. It's got to be a 2. It just has to be.
It's not a 1. No, it's not.
It's
terrible.
not.
I'm not gonna watch this and think, "Ew, I'm done." By.
Nah, it's just.
I still enjoy watching it. It's still actually one thing I will say nice about it. The fight scenes they're all fighting at once and drama's starting to build up. That was pretty good for a moment there.
Mm-hmm. And then they just kind of, maybe I should give them their power weapons, and we're like, damn it, Zordon, they need them now. Why are you waiting?
Okay.
We're moving on to episode 4.
Episode 4, The Pressing Engagement.
Da, 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 da,
In your dreams. Bye.
See you guys.